Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up for you. The stage is set for the U.S. to make the XRP ledger #1 and more cases dropped by the SEC. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content right now. $2.88 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's up 2.2%. Bitcoin 84,600 plus. Ethereum 2,100 plus. XRP $2.14. It's up 0.8 on the 24. It's off by 17.3 on the 7-day. That's where we're sitting right now, but let's take a look at the range of price very quickly here. Ranging between 208 on the bottom and 221. I've been buying this dip. I'm not telling you or anyone else what to do. I'm just telling you, I really feel like this is some of the last time you're going to be able to get this stuff at this kind of price. So I'm just trying to do what I can. It's not a lot, but I'm doing in a disciplined fashion. I'm just trying to do what I can because I have a feeling, and I've been accumulating for 7 years, and I still have this feeling like when it finally takes off, I'm going to feel like I wish I had got more somehow. And I don't even know mathematically how that would even be possible. Nevertheless, I'm at the end of my rope of what I could do financially here, but I'm trying to do everything I can because I know that I believe in this so heavily where it is. And then, of course, we have to balance Mrs. Backup, too, right? I don't want her too mad at me, Besides, today's a date day. Hey, let me tell you, dear friend of mine told me some great advice one time. And he said, never stop dating your wife. And what a statement that is. And I've made sure that that's exactly what I do. So I'll be dating my wife today, and I can't wait. Yeah, she's a smoke show. I love her. Yeah, can't wait. I want to tell you right now, we're going into the Freedom Zone. When this is done, you can hit the join button right here underneath of any video and join us for next to nothing. The cost of a cup of coffee per month. 0 Google ads every day. You don't have to see the ads pop up anymore. Gone. You know what? And we're talking about a lot of really crazy, crazy cool things that are happening now around the world and domestically at home, in and outside of crypto. And I'm loving being able to do it and express myself there. I hope you will join us. Links underneath the video, so many great things. And we just announced a new addition to the conference, ladies and gentlemen. All these incredible people, including Dr. Chris Brummer, Simon McLaughlin, the CEO of Uphold, the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse on stage, Chris Giancarlo, head of the Digital Dollar Project, the president of the Digital Chamber, and yes, David Schwartz is coming back on stage. What is he going to talk about with all of these developments? My goodness, we may have stablecoin legislation potentially by the time we get to this conference. How incredible is that? Paul Barron, Boone Bergsman, and so many more. Matt Hogan from Bitwise, the Kwok brothers, Dom and Phil Kwok, who represent over 1 million builders. Let somebody try to tell us that we don't support builders. I'm telling you right now, that narrative is dead. Dead. We love them. We love everybody. Entrepreneurs, builders, investors. We love it all. You know why? Because it takes a village. Look at all these incredible people. We're so grateful they're all coming. And there may be a few more. SEC declares meme coins are not considered securities. Oh boy. SEC claims meme coins do not involve the offer of sale of securities under the federal securities law. Now, I read this yesterday in depth, and I went down and showed everybody that fraud is still fraud, and it might not be the SEC coming to get you. It may be the CFTC or some other agency. But just know, fraud still constitutes fraud, so don't do that, right? But the SEC's made it clear that they're not securities, and they're really looked at and viewed like collectibles, like baseball cards, digital baseball cards. I love this, where this is going, and I'm getting very excited. I have some amazing ideas I'd like to pursue too, but I just want to make sure that we all know exactly what we're pursuing and what the parameters of that truly are, right? Who oversees that space, if any? We need to know that. But I have some really great ideas that I think everybody would love, to be perfectly honest. And then there's this. Boy, you talk about this. Boy, Richard Hart right here. Boy, what do you think this guy's feeling like this morning, right? Looks like the judge in the Richard Hart wins case granted his lawyer's motion to dismiss the SEC's charges against him. A little bit different to the dismissals we've seen coming directly from the SEC, however. According to the ruling, the SEC now has 20 days to file an amended complaint. However, given the regulatory environment being so favorable towards crypto right now and enforcement cases begin drop left and right, the agency may choose not to pursue it. Richard Hart himself puts case dismissed. Thank you, Judge Amon. Well, you know what? I don't know how that happened, but I know one thing. Boy, that guy's feeling a lot better. I bet his blood pressure's a lot better today than it was yesterday. And if that guy's not in trouble, how could anybody be in trouble? How could they still have the Ripple case going if this guy gets a pass? You tell me that. Tell me that. Unless it's so important that by the time we get our pass, it allows for great things to unfold. And I think that's exactly what's going on. That's my positive spin on it. That's my glass half full. Yeah. What's yours? I don't know the answer, but that's what I think. Meanwhile, the SEC's Crypto Task Force plans to hold a series of roundtables with industry representatives. Okay. The first of 5 meetings set for March 21st will focus on defining the status of securities in crypto. Loving that. Certainly hope Brad Garlinghouse is there, just like I hope Brad Garlinghouse is a part of this meeting. This happens on next Friday. President Trump will host the first White House Crypto Summit on Friday, March 7th. You know, Mark Cuban tried to convince us all to vote for Kamala. He said we had it wrong, that they were going to embrace crypto. This is how you embrace crypto, Mark, right? Not by peddling you out in front of the masses as some show pony to try to convince us all that that was the way to go. Could you see the bullet that we've dodged here with that election? My goodness. Attendees will include prominent founders, CEOs, and investors from the crypto industry. Looking forward to seeing everyone there, says the crypto AI czar, David Sachs. I say I sure hope Brad Garlinghouse and Stuart Alderati will be attending. Lock in. How can they not? Who's going to attend from Ethereum? Who's going to be there from Bitcoin? Yeah, I didn't think so. And here, right here, is just a vote of confidence of why we should see them there next Friday. After all, they have had dinner and met with the president more than once. Come on in. Because I believe that the U.S. market infrastructure, when it comes out after they pass stablecoin legislation, taxes for crypto, and the market infrastructure bill, however it all comes, when it comes, that means that the U.S. is going to need to reveal what their digital on-chain economy presence is. And right now, what do we know it is? Well, I'll tell you what we know. 1 second here.
Quickly here too. So I just mentioned the market structure bill. The other area is stable coins. And Senator Haggerty, he's on the banking committee. He just released a stablecoin bill. There's counterparts in the House. And what the 4 chairmen indicated is actually they're going to take up stablecoins first, and then market structure will follow very quickly. So I think we could see a stablecoin bill pass Congress in the next several months.
There you have it. That's the Crypto AI czar, first meeting this week on Friday. And what would be the U.S. market infrastructure presence? Well, we're going to get there. Jack McDonald, the senior VP of the Real USD at Ripple, says, like clockwork, the January independent attestation for Real USD is live. Some notable stats. Real USD hit $7.35 billion in trading volume on the XRP-Ledger and Ethereum in the first 60 days. $7.35 billion in trading volume in the first 60 days of being live. Significantly higher volume compared to many others, and became available on Zero Hash and Revolut. Real USD remains over-reserved. We hold $7 million more in reserves than the total RSD supply of $130 million. and 130 million has helped facilitate more than 7.35 billion in trading volume in 60 days. We're seeing increased inbound interest on using RLUSD for on-chain collateralization for tokenized assets. Lots of possibilities here. That's what we have. And you know what? And funny enough, stablecoin legislation is supposed to be the first thing that we get. And here's the transparency report right here. Shout out to Riz for this. Are you not following Riz? Why are we not following Riz? I follow Riz. He's great. Yeah, they're all great. Michael Branch, Riz, there's so many out here. It's unbelievable. XRP drops. Follow all of these people. Here you see all the attestation, all the transparency. Somebody please send this to Tether. And here's what I believe is about to be the monster that rears its head to prove that it is the U.S. market infrastructure that is going to plug into the digital on-chain economy that Ripple has been building outside of the United States for more than a decade. Remember, we're a part of FedNow. Let me just stay with me. I know you know about FedNow, but stay with me. Over the last 5 years, we've fielded quite a few questions about cryptocurrencies, blockchain, central bank digital currencies. And it says here, FedNow is the first government-created and backed payment service that allows for safe and efficient instant transfer of funds outside of bank accounts between individuals and businesses 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. FedNow is an evolution of FedWire fund services. The first phase will be the pilot program and will include more than 120 organizations, including the U.S. Department of Treasury Bureau and Fiscal Service. The largest source of present-day volume traces its roots back to the creation of FedWire at the turn of the 20th century. How pathetic is that? Just over $1 quadrillion, that's 1,000 times bigger than a trillion, in transfers originated through FedWire in a single year. FedNow will join real-time payments in enabling businesses to send funds. I ask you, when we get the stablecoin bill, what's the most transparent stablecoin, compliant stablecoin? It is the real USD. Remember, it's on a green list that USDC is not with the NYDFS. Write that down. So what will be the demand here when all of this fires up July 15th, 2025, single day implementation? You think they're going to have a huge demand for real USD? I think they will. My odds say that they will. But it's much bigger than Ripple being a partner because we know that Ripple partnered with them. We know that Ripple partnered with the FedNow. They're one of 60 others that integrated at the time that they did. The fun part of this is that 27 out of 37 FedNow certified service providers are Ripple partners too, or are partnered with Ripple partners. FedNow aims to integrate 10,000 banks and institutions. So directly or indirectly, they're all tied back into Ripple. 3 degrees, one way or the other. Let's see. Ripple customer base is 95% outside the U.S. The U.S. appears to be targeting USD Tether. We've even heard Brad Garlinghouse mention it. Ripple to launch a U.S. dollar stablecoin this year in 24, which they have, and in 60 days have done over $7 billion in trading volume with $130 million worth of real USD. Ripple joined FedNow in 2023. I just showed you how they're connected to 27 out of 37 of the certified service providers, and that connects to 10,000 plus institutions. Everyone says the U.S. is behind. But if the U.S. government adopts a value protocol like the XRP-Ledger with the new USD stablecoin on the XRP-Ledger and Ethereum network, which is highly successful in 60 days, or declares Ripple a bank or systemically important, wouldn't that mean Ripple is the link between 95% of the rest of the world that or customers that Ripple has, which are around the world? And the missing piece to the puzzle that propels the United States into the pole position in this fourth industrial revolution? I think that answer is yes. Because the United States has not announced a U.S. market infrastructure for the new digital on-chain economy yet. And I believe Ripple isn't just a great company. In my opinion, it's the United States' solution for this new multipolar asset world we're moving toward. That's why so many U.S. Treasury officials come through the Ripple camp. In short, Ripple and the XRP Ledger are the missing link that joins the world together in this new financial system. That's where I think we're going, and that's what I think we're on the precipice of. And when I see other people just chasing green candles, I just kind of giggle to myself. It's so much bigger. Time for taking those lifestyle XRP chips off the table is coming. Until then, I'm being greedy. Me too. Shout out to the GOAT.
Okay, let's look at these corrective phases. If you guys have got this far and followed me, we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20% plus pullbacks. And you can't remember those. You might remember the last summer one because that was pretty miserable, but that's it. We deal with this. The volatility is a feature, not a bug. You need the volatility to drive these massive rips when they come. So that's where we are. We've seen this. We should be somewhere close to bottoming. Now, with those 7 pullbacks, we've still had 600% returns from the low. Again, you've forgotten about those because you're like, oh my God, it got to 110 and now it's at 80. It's like, it's all fucking noise, kids. Really, honestly. When we go back to 2017, it was more violent because Bitcoin was earlier in its adoption phase and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30% plus pullbacks, some of them at 40%. So this is more like Solana now, which is more volatile because it's earlier in the cycle. It's more like Ethereum, it's more like others. So this gives you the contextualization of what you're going to have to stomach to make the money. To unfuck your future, you're going to have to learn to deal with volatility. And if you've got any spare income and you can invest, you can buy some of these dips, but be careful later in the cycle. You don't want to overextend when you should be thinking about how do I take money off, but we're far too early for that yet. I talked about we could take lifestyle chips off sometime in the first quarter. Looks like it's pushed out to the second quarter. I'll keep you updated when that happens. But again, I'm very chill about this. When you zoom out, Bitcoin is just retesting where it broke out from. That's it, guys. It's hardly a big deal. When we look at the RSI of Bitcoin, it's like the second most oversold it's been in this entire cycle. These are opportunities. When it gets this oversold, yes, it can chop around a bit at those lows, might even make a new low, might chop, rally, new low, which will then diverge on the RSI. But it's telling you 1 month from now, prices will start climbing for sure. They'll be higher than here. And then 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, we should have much higher prices. So once we've got the corrections out of the way, you start to look forward to, okay, now I can get some real price action going again. So that's to come.
There you have it. Raoul Pal, Real Vision. And here's our friend Egg Rag Crypto here. One of the most precise and accurate when it comes to TA. Don't believe it, it's still true. I put him to the test with Grok. Him, Egg Rag Crypto, and Dark Defender came up suggested by Grok as the 2 most accurate predictors of technical analysis out here in this space. Do it yourself. Ask yourself. You'll find out. That's why we keep showing them. Now, the long-term price targets, we can't prove that out, but we're talking about the price targets that have happened. The calls that they've made in the short term have been absolutely stellar, the way they've made these calls, and we're super grateful for each one of them and all the others that we point to. But that's what Grok had to say. So all I'm telling you is what Grok's telling you. I knew it myself, but now Grok knows it. So now you know it. Right here, projection wave target range $20 to $66 here. I know everybody goes right to like to see that 66, of course we would. But wave 1 is the initial wave that has demonstrated a remarkable increase of 510%. Refer to the chart, which we will in a moment. I want to run through these because he does such a great job of breaking this stuff down. This percentage serves as our baseline for subsequent wave calculations. Wave 2. Currently, we're assessing the nature of the corrective formation. Initially, I believe we're witnessing an irregular or expanded flat, and I maintain this viewpoint. For an expanded or irregular formation, the B wave must suppress the starting point of the A wave, which has occurred in this case. Take a look at the bull market expanded symmetrical triangle ABCDE. And then here he says expanding triangle. This triangle is among the most complex and challenging to predict from the outset. We can only accurately assess it once wave E concludes. Both trend lines of the pattern diverge, adding the unpredictability. He says here, in summary of wave 2, I anticipate wave E may dip below 177, setting up a potential bear trap. But first we need bull trap targeting around 370, 390. Before wave E concludes, he says it's crucial to note that this correction could exceed 50%, so just know that. Wave 3, as most impulsive waves, it stands out clearly fueled by overwhelming bullish sentiment. In accordance with the Elliott wave theory, wave 3 typically extends to 1.618 times the length of 1. Given the wave 1 registered an increase of 510%, I estimate that wave 3 could range 800 to 1,000%, projecting XRP's price to reaching approximately $17 to $20. Whoa! Generally, corrective in nature, wave 4 typically retraces between 14.6 and 38.2% of wave 3. During this wave count, new buying opportunities arise and prices consolidate sideways, often retracing less than 38.2%. Volume typically drops, making it a good buying point for those eyeing wave 5. However, the slow progress can test traders' patience. Based on our wave 3 projections, we anticipate a pullback around 38.2, positioning XRP between $6 and $7, which may frustrate traders due to the prolonged sideways movement. But wave 5, according to Elliott wave 5 theory, wave 5 represents the final ascent in the prevailing trend. This phase is marked by overwhelming positive news and a bullish sentiment surging through the market. Unfortunately, this is often when average investors jump in just before the peak. Volume during wave 5 tends to be lower than observed in wave 3, and many momentum indicators reveal divergences, indicating new price highs without corresponding strength in the underlying indicators. The enthusiasm and momentum that characterize wave 3 are noticeably absent in wave 5, as the final push forward is primarily driven by a select group of participants. Although prices may breach the previous peak of wave 3, the acceleration and vigor of this advance are significantly muted in comparison. Target projections for wave 5. We can derive the potential price predictions for XRP based on various metrics of wave count number 5. Inverse 1.236 to 1.618 times wave 4. This range indicates a price target of approximately $20, $24, or $29. Check the chart, which we will in a moment. Equal to wave 1, 510%, places XRP's price around $44. A 61.8% of wave 1 plus wave 3, a calculation of 510% plus 824% times 61.8% positions XRP around $66. Looking at the chart, here's all the breakdowns of wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. You can see it here. All the standard charts to look at to see what is showing up on the charts. All these different shapes that tell you what you're looking at. He highlights the one he believes is correct here, and then showing you the 3 kinds of flats that he discussed early on in the post. And this is what we're looking at here. You can see the 20, 24, 29, and then it goes even higher all the way up to what we could be at $66, 44 and $66. We can't know just yet what will happen, but the chart is showing the potential for some pretty incredible movement on the charts. But again, we need the fundamental news, and we have it. We're waiting for it to drop. There is a list of major news. The end of the case, the confirmation of Paul Atkins, right? The passing of stablecoin legislation, crypto taxes, no tax on U.S. crypto. Then we get the market infrastructure bill. Just those things could send all of this, I believe, to these kinds of numbers. It opens that conversation, doesn't it? So none of this is as far off as the price seems to be today, at least to me, because we're sitting at 214 right now. My feet are on the ground, but with the news in front of me that we're waiting to get, and it does appear that we're getting it this year, there's no telling where this could go. We're already at 7.35 billion in trading volume with only 130 million plus RLUSD minted. So you tell me where we're at when all of those things finally pass. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. By the way, going into the Freedom Zone, oh my goodness, you're going to want to go with us today because you know what? We're going to talk about Elon breaking down the system hack of the government and the deep state pushback. We're going in right now. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. Come on in. All right, welcome back. I told you we're going in.